A ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true. I'll go first. When I was 8.
So I was probably either in like 5th or 6th grade. My mother has always been like super Catholic, so it was Sunday. We were at church. It was normal for us to be at church every Sunday, and it was around Easter time. I know that because they were giving out. It was Palm Sunday, so they were giving out palms, and I remember the beginning of mass. The priest was blessing us, like so he was like spraying holy water on each aisle. I forget what he uses to like spray each aisle. It's like I know he dips it in the holy water and then he just sprays people with it. So he was doing that, and there was this lady sitting in front of me and my mom and my sister. The lady had to be like around like 60. She was probably in her late 50s. I know she was an older lady, and she was very petite. So as soon as she got hit with like the holy water, my god, she started like bugging. She literally started making these noises that weren't human. It just didn't sound human to me. It sounded like something from a horror movie. Like, and she was speaking in this language that wasn't like English. It was like a different. I have no idea what language it was. But I know that she just looked like crazy. She looked like mad. Like it looked like something was in her that was making her do these things, right? So the priest started going towards the altar when he heard her, and he's at the altar, and she comes out of the aisle and she starts running. Like when I tell you running, like running towards the altar, and it almost looked like a wall was between the altar and like if you guys know, the altar normally has like there's steps to get to the altar. So there was like it almost looked like a wall that was like blocking the altar from like our where we were sitting, because every time she would go, she would like fall to the ground. And she must have repeated this like 3 times, and she was like grabbing her, like trying to grab the priest, and like but she just couldn't get to him. She literally could not get to him. And then the ushers came like running, and like they tried to like pin her down, like to try to control her and like relax her. Like she was like just losing it. And the priest started praying, and then my mom got up from the chair and she started like she had her rosary in her hand, and she just started praying like loud, like super loud. Me and my sister were looking at each other like, what the fuck? Like, we're so scared. I literally started crying. I was so scared. Everybody around us, everybody that was there, people were praying, people were crying, people were like leaving the church because they were scared. Like it was just, and it was so silent, like it was so quiet, like it just was so scary. And I remember they told us that we all had to leave, like because I guess I don't know if they were gonna perform like an exorcism or something, but the priest like told everybody that they had to go, and she stood behind. So I really like that was like the first experience I ever had with like visually seeing something like that. I've always seen it like in movies and stuff like that, but never like in real life. And it was just so scary to me. I just remember going home. I could barely sleep at night. I slept with my mom. I could not do it. I was so scared. So again, this happened to me when I was in 5th or 6th grade. Fast forward, in high school, and I meet this girl that she's in my class, and she's I'm a sophomore and she's a senior, and she was able to like smoke in her house, in her room, and she had invited us to do that. During that time I had just gone into like smoking, so I was like, yeah, whatever, we'll go to your house to smoke. So it was 2015. Back then, it wasn't like legal like how it is now. So whatever, we go, and we're in her room, and me, my sister, her, and my other friend, and we're smoking, whatever. And I noticed that I've been noticed that the girl was super super into like horoscopes and stuff like that. I never really paid mind to it. I thought it was like normal. I started getting into it too because I thought it was interesting. But she just was, oh, that was like all she ever talked about. So it's like whatever. So she tells me how like her mom has always been like into like Santeria. When it like Santeria, that's in Spanish. It's almost it's white magic. It's when people practice like white magic. So it's not bad, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it's that great. But whatever. She told me that her mom's always been into that and whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I go to the bathroom and she's like, oh yeah, the bathroom's all the way at the end of the hallway. It's the last door before my mom's bedroom. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going to the bathroom. And as soon as I'm like about to open the door to the bathroom, her mom's room's door opens. And I like look, and it's the lady. It's the same lady from the church that day, that when I was like in 5th or 6th grade. That started bugging. I almost shit myself. I was so scared. I like looked at her and she looked at me, and I don't think she recognized me. I really don't think so, because she just looked at me like normal, and she was like, hi, you need to use the bathroom? I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, okay, no. So I like go to the bathroom real quick. I like send my sister a text while I'm in there. I'm like, we gotta fucking go now. So I come back into my friend's room, and then I like make up an excuse like, oh, my mom is looking for me and we have to go. So we leave, and I literally never went back there. I was so scared. It was just so crazy, like seeing everything, like she was like she had like the cards, like the I don't know what those cards are called, but I know that a lot of like people be reading those cards and stuff that tell you about like your future. I'm like blanking out on the names, but like to see that they were so into all those things, it's like scary. Like, so I don't know, like that's my story.